Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today we're heading, metaphorically speaking, to a really unique spot where geography, deep cultural beliefs, and mythology all just weave together beautifully.
That's right.
We're talking about Talakaveri, sometimes called Talakaveri. It's the sacred pilgrimage site, kind of tucked away in the Kodagu district. That's Coorg in Karnataka, India.
And it's seen as the absolute origin point of the River Kaveri.
Which is huge, right? One of South India's most important rivers.
That's
Our
true.
source material, Talakaveri, source of the Kaveri River, really gives us a great picture of this place.
It does. And what's really key to understand, I think, is that the Kaveri isn't just, water flowing. For many, it's a living thing, almost a deity with divine origins.
Wow, okay.
So that makes its source, Talakaveri, incredibly spiritually potent, a place of real devotion.
That completely changes how you think about a river source, doesn't it? Okay, let's unpack this. So physically, where exactly are we talking about?
Well, Talakaveri is up on Brahmagiri Hill. It's about 12,276 meters, so roughly 4,186 feet above sea level. And it's around 48 kilometers from Madikeri, which is the main town in the area.
Right, Madikeri. And the river's actual start, where does this massive river actually begin? Is it dramatic?
You might expect something grand, but it actually emerges from a pretty small spring, a kind of sacred tank. It's called a kundaik.
A kundaik.
Yeah. And it's from this kundaik that the water really overflows, especially during the monsoon season. And, that's the birth of the Kaveri.
So divinity from humble beginnings.
Exactly. It's a very powerful symbol.
The physical source is one thing, but you mentioned the mythology. That seems central here. What's the story?
It really is. The main temple there is for Goddess Kaveri. She is the river, personified.
Ah, okay.
And there's also a shrine for a Lord Agastya, that's Sage Agastya. The legend basically says Goddess Kaveri was born to someone called Kaveri Muni, and later she became the wife of Sage Agastya.
Right.
And the river itself, it's believed it sprang from that kundaik after Sage Agastya prayed to Lord Ganesha. That sort of cemented its place as one of India's 7 sacred rivers.
I see. So Ganesha's intervention was key.
According to the legend, yes.
Yeah.
And this isn't just like an old story people tell. It's a core belief. It frames the river as a blessing, not just H2O.
Which naturally makes it a huge pilgrimage site, right? Especially for the Kodavas, the local people.
Absolutely vital for the Kodavas, and for many others too.
Are there specific times or festivals when this reverence is really visible?
Oh, definitely. The biggest one is Tula Sankramana. That happens around mid-October.
Okay.
And at a very specific, auspicious moment, water just gushes, really surges from the spring. It draws hundreds of thousands of pilgrims. It's quite a sight, apparently.
Wow. Just for that moment.
That moment is the highlight, yeah. But other big festivals like Navaratri, the 9 nights celebrating the goddess, and Akar Sankranti, they also bring huge crowds. So it's spiritually significant year-round.
So if you visit, you see the source, the kundaik. What else is there to experience?
Well, there's the temple itself, simple but beautiful South Indian style. And you should definitely climb the steps nearby to the Brahmagiri Hill viewpoint.
Ooh. What's the view like?
Apparently it's stunning. Panoramic views of the Western Ghats really gives you a sense of the landscape that holds this sacred river.
Puts it in perspective.
Exactly. And of course, that sacred tank, the kundaik, is where people go to pray and seek blessings.
Makes sense.
And not far off, there's a place called Triveni Sangam. It's believed to be where 3 rivers meet, the Kaveri, the Kanika, and the Sujyoti, another spiritually charged spot.
3 rivers meeting. Okay. Now, for anyone listening who might think about visiting, any practical tips? How do you get there? What should you know?
Good question. Madikeri is your main hub, about 48 kilometers away. That's where you'd likely stay, as there isn't really accommodation right at the temple site itself.
Right.
You can get to Talakaveri by road from Madikeri buses, taxis. If you're coming from further away, the nearest train stations are probably Mysuru or Hassan, and airports would be Kannur or Mangaluru.
Okay. And once you're there?
Well, remember, it's a holy place, so dress modestly. That's important. Also, it can get quite chilly or rainy, especially during monsoon season. So yeah, bring some warm layers, maybe an umbrella. Just be prepared.
Good advice. So as we sort of wrap up this deep dive, it's really clear Talakaveri is much more than just a dot on a map. What's the bigger picture here? What does it all mean?
I think what Talakaveri really shows us is a worldview where nature, things like rivers, aren't just resources. They're sacred, they're divine.
Right, not just something to use.
Exactly. It shows how these ancient beliefs are still alive, shaping how a community sees itself, how it relates to its environment. It's about this deep, respectful bond.
That's a powerful way to look at it. It really makes you think. So here's something for you, the listener, to consider. What does it truly mean for a culture to see a life-giving force like a river as divine? And maybe how could that kind of deep reverence we see at Talakaveri, perhaps, influence our own views, our own responsibilities towards the natural world today?
Hmm. A deep question.
Something to mull over. Until next time, keep diving deep.